Hey guys, thanks for choosing E3 Vehicles. Today I'm going to be going over battery maintenance, one of the most crucial things you can do for your vehicle. As you notice behind me, I have a Tomberlin Ghost Hawk 6-passenger. This thing has been charging all night. So what I'm going to do is unplug it and start the battery maintenance procedure. The reason for this is because the water in the battery serves as a coolant. When the charger is plugged in, it creates an expansion in the water and the corrosive acid can boil over, and that's not something you want. So with no further ado, let's get right to it. For supplies, you will need gloves, your standard kitchen funnel, 1 gallon of distilled water, sometimes more depending if every battery is dry, and lastly, handy dandy flashlight. So first and foremost, I'll come in and I'll start popping lids off of batteries, one by one. I'll set them down. So something to note while I'm taking these off is you don't want to have any metal rings or metal necklaces on, just because if you touch these terminals, it can give you quite an unfriendly zap, and that's not something you want. It's not a pleasant way to start your day or your battery maintenance. All right, so as you can see right here, we have 6 lead acid batteries. There will be 2 up front under the front seat. Now, we've already popped the lids off. The vehicle has accepted a full charge. Now it's time to come into each individual cell and check the water levels and top them off as necessary. So, what we're going to do, first step, after popping the lids, is come over each individual cell. Keep in mind, these are not connected. They're all their own cell. And we're going to check water levels. Quick note, you see this structure right here that goes down in the tube with a vent. The bottom of that tube-like structure will be your fill line. So you do not want to fill past the top of that line. Keep in mind it is a corrosive acid and you don't want it to boil over at any time. So I'm coming over each cell and I'm looking at the water levels. So as we come in, one of the most common misconceptions is that each one of these cells is connected to the other, when in reality, they're each their own individual cell. So they will need to be checked one by one. Now, you will notice some cells will be drier than others. This is completely normal. It's something that happens in all low-speed vehicles. So, I noticed these 3 cells right here could use a little top off. All you're going to do, insert the funnel, not fully. The reason for that is you don't want to shove the bottom of the funnel into the lead plates at the bottom. It can cause issues. And now we fill. Now that we've topped every battery off, before we move to the front, let's go ahead and put these lids back on. So now, after all the lids have been put on, I like to do a once over, make sure they're all tight and sealed off just so that corrosive water doesn't spill over. We'll close this one down and we'll move to the front. Sometimes if you're doing this alone, it can be a little tricky. Since you don't have a hinge like you do on the back, I'll come over, pop this side first. Obviously you want to make sure the vehicle is off. And I'll come around over here to this side and I'll slide it right down. Same thing with these batteries as in the back. We'll start by popping the lids off. We'll grab our handy dandy flashlight and we'll come in and check water levels. Now, these do look a little bit dry. This one looks a little bit low, so I'm going to need to hit that with a little bit of distilled. Top these off for good measure. And keep in mind, a lot of times when you come in, you won't need to fill every cell. Sometimes it will be 2 or 3, sometimes it will be every one. In the summertime, if you're using the cart a lot, it will be a lot more. In the winter, sometimes you'll go months without having to top off. Lastly, pop these lids back on, just like in the back. Give them a few tugs, make sure they're secure, everything looks good, and then we'll put the seat back on. Trick for this, use your leg as a fulcrum, lift, and slide. You'll just walk around to the other side. that is it today for battery maintenance. Keep in mind, only check batteries and fill water after the vehicle is accepted a full charge. For supplies, we will use a funnel, distilled water, gloves, and a flashlight. These simple steps to maintaining your batteries are absolutely crucial. You do this, you'll have a happy, healthy vehicle. You'll get a lot of great use out of it. You guys enjoy. Thanks again for choosing E3 Vehicles. We'll see you soon.